Sometimes the only thing holding you back is the version of you that wants to be liked more than it wants to be free. There's so much misconception about money, right? We have so many deep-rooted patterns in our psyche about what it means to be wealthy, what it means to have money come to us, how much we have to work to receive money. Sorry for the tractor in the background. I'm here in Ireland. Still family farm, tent over there, van over there, doggies over there, kitty over there. And so, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, that's right. I'm gonna try and walk away from the tractor because it's loud. But if it were about working hard, then the hardest workers would have the most amount of money. But that is not true at all. And there are so many ways to make money passively that make you actually rich and allow you to scale. Like, there's only so much of you, and so scaling, you can't like scale a business or a thing of work if it like all is required for your time is required for all of like the return, right? And so it's more of an energy exchange. It's more of this ability to like be expansive and to think of scaling and expansiveness and how that can be possible for you. But that will not be possible for you if you have these deep-rooted things about money and about beyond money. Like, money is just a frequency. So these deep-rooted things about worthiness. Maybe this is better. It's very pretty. It's super pretty. Also, the lighting is just like so strange at this time. I know yesterday's video was weird, and then right now is also strange. But this has just been the time that I've been called to film. So I was reading some Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read Napoleon Hill's work, you definitely should. And you know, it's from way back when, but talked about money in this sense then, and has created, you know, many multimillionaires and changed the perspective of money for people. And so it is a choice to stay stuck in lack. It is a choice. You were raised, most people were raised to be poor, raised to think in a poverty mindset, raised to fear money. And like, even if like consciously you're like, no, I don't fear money, I want money, I want money. Wanting money does not make you qualified to have money. Chasing it does not make it come to you. Money wants to come into your life when you have an open door to it, but you will not have an open door to it if you are filled with shame. And like, shame is one of the most like toxic, it's like, it's not the best word to explain it, but like one of the most toxic energies. And so if you're filled with shame or embarrassment or guilt, and that is like what your frequency is, money just cannot fit in. There's no door for money to come in. If you clear those things and you rewrite your story and your self-concept, you allow money to come in. There's nothing more that you really have to do. Of course you have to take action. Like, I want to say you can't just sit on your butt and like make money, but you could. Like, you could. We live on a floating rock in infinity, right? And somehow, you know, we're here having this human experience. It's a miracle. Quantum physics, quantum, mechanics, it's all science. It's all right in front of us. It all tells us that time is not linear, that we have the ability to shift into new timelines, and it's all like a matter of changing our field. And so if we can change our field, our self-concept, the way that we see ourselves, we can literally shift the matter that we perceive. So we can shift the amount of money that comes into our life by shifting our self-concept, by getting rid of that guilt and that fear and that shame and rewriting it. So it's like, how do we do that? Something that's really powerful that I've been doing recently, that I did yesterday, and that like deep somatic thing that I experienced that I shared in that video yesterday, but it's really going in, like closing your eyes in the morning without turning on your phone. That's been something coming up too, is not turning on your phone right away. Checking in with your body, saying, what am I feeling right now? Acknowledge it, bring awareness to it, not trying to change it, just listening. What am I feeling right now? Okay, you know, feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed, feeling panic, or whatever. and then reframing it. It's all about reframing. Like yesterday, you know, it was coming up like I feel like I'm drowning, and that was a story of an experience where I actually was drowning. That was stored in my body. The body keeps a score. And so I reframed it. I was able to reframe it like, okay, I might have been, you know, drowning at that point in my life, but I was a child then, and now I'm an adult and I can swim. Like, it was just like a reminder, right? Your limbic system has the maturity of a 3-year-old, but it makes all the calls for you, your nervous system, right? And so it's making all these calls based off of what it thinks is happening and what it has experienced. So sometimes you have to remind it. It's like what I teach in many of my brain retraining programs, like in Healed, you have to remind the nervous system, like, thank you, I appreciate it, but we're gonna do this instead. Same thing in 21 Days to Rewire Your Mind. It's really like kind of ingrained in all of the programs, 21 Days to Wildly Wealthy too. So you're saying thank you. Gratitude changes everything. You say this is the new way that we're gonna do this. So for me, it was reframing, like, I can swim. I just had to, it's like so simple, but I just had to like tell, like when my nervous system heard that, it was like, oh yeah, I guess you can swim. Like, you know, and that alchemized it. And so the way that you would reframe that is whatever comes up for you, you'll have to decide, right? You'll have to decide when it comes up what you can reframe it to. It has to be something that like you like energetically in your body can agree with. Like, you can't just be like, I'm reframing this to I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm a billionaire, because you're kind of like skipping a few steps and ignoring like the actual block there. And so it's like you've probably been doing a lot of this manifestation stuff for a long time, and you're aware of a lot of this stuff. And I think that one of the biggest issues, if not the biggest issue, is that people skip that in-between step and don't teach the nervous system what it's like to actually start receiving wealth and to get out of these things that are not opening the door to money coming in, right? So it's like you can visualize your chosen timeline, but if you don't open the door of your body right now, and if you don't get that shame and that guilt and that fear and that doubt out of your body, then there's that disconnect. And there's those two separate timelines where it's like, where's the bridge? This is the bridge. So the other thing that Napoleon Hill was talking about is then like tuning into your aura. He was talking about a lot of the aura in this. I don't know. I think it was like a mixture of Napoleon Hill and AI, because it was kind of like modernized. But I was talking about aura and tuning into your aura in the morning at the same time as this, like before phone or anything else, tuning into your aura, expanding it, commanding it. Like, you have your free will, right? And so commanding your energy, your field, which is more like a Joe Dispenza way of going about it, your field to be what you want it to be, right? You say, I am open to receiving wealth. I am worthy of wealth. I am worthy of the money that I desire. Making money is easy for me. Like, I don't have to do anything more or be anything more. I am worthy of it. I've set myself up. I'm so qualified. I'm so worthy of everything that I've ever desired. And while you're doing that, checking in with your body and saying, how does my body feel in this? Does my body resist this, or is my body like actually saying yes to this? And working with it then. And so then it's like, okay, body's saying this, reframe. Okay, aura, this is what I command. Body, do you agree? And then you kind of like start to get to this place where it's like literally going to change your entire life. And so if you could do that for, 21, 30 days, you won't recognize yourself. You won't recognize your life, because that is the one thing really standing in the way, is how your nervous system is responding to the thought of wealth. Because there's so many deep-rooted things, like wealth, comes with more wealth comes more responsibility. Maybe someone told you that you're not good with responsibility, or that you're lazy, or whatever. You have to be willing to let go of the story of what other people have put on you, right? And some people are going to have a hard time with you changing, because it's easier for you to stay the way that they've always remembered you. It takes an energy in them, it takes like confrontation in them to see someone start to step into their power. And oftentimes, even if they love you, they'll try and keep you small. And so that's part of it too. And so then you have to teach the nervous system, like, it's okay. I'm still going to be loved. I'm still going to be enough. I'm still going to be safe. I choose me. I am the one that saves me. I am the one that swims to shore, right? I don't need anyone else to choose me or to swim to shore. Oh, here's some light. Maybe the lighting's not as bad anymore. So I think that this topic is like one of my favorite topics on earth, because in this matrix, it's something that we can all relate to right now. Most people, unless like you're fully living off the land and you're just out in the middle of nowhere and you have everything that you need and you're completely off grid, then like maybe you don't have to consider money. But money is a part of this matrix, and it's not about exiting the matrix and just saying peace, see you later, never. Like it's not really about that. It's about unplugging, seeing the truth in it, seeing the energetics behind everything, waking up, and then bringing that into the system. And that's going to change the world. But most importantly, right now in this moment, it's going to change your life. It's going to bring in the freedom that you desire, right? And so like I said in the beginning, sometimes the thing that is holding you back the most from the freedom that you desire is your desire to be liked. So your desire to be liked and approved like by others, right? How many times do you self-abandon to get others to stay, to get others to approve, to get others to accept, to get others to like you? It doesn't matter anymore. Be cringe, be big, be loud, use your voice, try a million times, fail a million times. I think that one of the things I'm most proud of is how many times I've failed. And it's like, I am that way because I've done a lot of the mindset work around this, and I've studied a lot of people talking about this, but I've had so many businesses that have technically failed, like my Amazon business. I thought I was doing well, and then I realized at the end of the year, I lost a lot of money in it because I was competing with a bigger company who found my product and, charged like a third of the price because they were able to buy a large quantity, much larger than me. And so, that business died. I tried, ebooks. I was a fashion designer for a while. I'm so sorry about this loud tractor. I sold on Etsy. I had a clothing boutique online, like my own online store. So many different things. And I'm so proud that I had the courage to try, and the courage to, be judged and not liked. And so you've got this. I'm gonna leave it here because this tractor is probably so annoying, and maybe it's not, but I don't know. So if you guys want to join any of my programs, I think that the one most relevant to this topic is 21 Days to Wildly Wealthy, where you work on healing the wealth wound, which is the worthiness wound. And I was just watching a psychic talk about this a few days ago, and she was doing those like copper stick thingies. If you've ever seen them, it's kind of like doing like the pendulum, but they, it's actually really cool. Like these copper things, I had a friend bring them to the farm once in Italy, and like people can use them to like find water sources in the forest, or like find things that they've lost, and like lost keys and lost dog and things like that. So it's really cool. But she was asking Source about money and asked, is the only thing holding like the collective back from receiving the money that they want, like being a millionaire? Maybe I'll walk this way. Is the only thing their belief about being worthy of it? And it said yes. And then she said, do they need to work on reprogramming the mind further than that and eliminating more limiting beliefs? And the answer was no. And so it's not about like to actually open the door for money to come in. Like, of course you want to reprogram for many other things, but to open the door for money to come in, you just have to feel worthy of it. You can't feel worthy of it if you're filled with guilt and shame and worry and doubt and all that stuff. So that's why I was really happy to see that. I'm really happy about my wealth wound program. So I have the free wealth wound guide if you want to download that as well. If you want to just jump into the 21 days and get the guided meditation and all the exercises, then Wildly Wealthy is your thing. But yeah, the wealth wound is all about the worthiness. And I discovered this in therapy. I discovered this really, like this topic, when I had my little heart broken. Not really, like me and this person were still great, and there's still a lot of love there. I mean, not like, I don't know, it's very complicated. But in that ending, I discovered this worthiness wound, this self-abandonment wound, and how love and money are not different at all, because what we are, our truth, is infinite abundance and unconditional love. Those are one and the same if you think about it. It is our truth, it is our essence, it is where we came from, it's our home. And so, you know, if you're self-abandoning to be with someone who it's just not working out with at that time, you know, then there's some worthiness wound. And even if, you know, they check all the boxes and they're so wonderful and so emotionally mature and like all these things, if the timing's not right and like you have to self-abandon to like fit into the timing being like okay for how it is now, or, you know, then there's some worthiness wound. And that led me to understanding the worthiness wound beyond, how people self-abandon and like try and force money to happen in a way that is not natural. You just have to remember how freaking worthy you are. So if you want to go into my new offer, which is 11 of the meditations from my 12-week program, I have a decondition library with 11 of those meditations and some sound therapy with my sound bowls. I should do them soon. They're in my tent. Now it's like, aside from the tractor today and some dog barking, it's pretty quiet here. It was hard to do in Italy with all the dogs. Like we had 60 dogs, you know. It was like the main thing in all my videos is like, sorry for the dogs barking. So maybe I'll do that soon. But yeah, I invite you to that. Or I have morning and evening meditation for changing your neuroplasticity. That one I would recommend doing for 30 days. It walks you through, it guides you through like very specific, like science-backed method of changing your neuroplasticity and reprogramming the mind. So that's available. And then I also, if you just want like something simple, I have a nervous system regulation breath work that you can do every day that you want to regulate nervous system. So I love you guys. I'm so happy to be here, and I will see you in the next video.